Hey everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media, and today we are talking more movies from the Dollar Tree. So I ended up going out to my mom's house this past weekend, and while we were there, we stopped in at her local Dollar Tree, and lo and behold, there were new movies, at least new to me. Frankly, I don't know if these are actually new or just ones that I hadn't seen before, but you guys will let me know down in the comments below, I'm sure. But I wanted to share them with you guys just in case you didn't know that there might be new movies there, so you can get to your local stores and check them out. So I have 11 in total today, 3 Blu-rays and the rest are DVDs, so it is a DVD heavy haul, but I still think there's some interesting stuff in there. So let's get into it. Before we do though, if you have a second, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my latest Dollar Tree movie haul. So I'll start off with the DVDs as usual. So first up here is part of the Man-Eater series, which is the reason I grabbed it. I have a ton of movies in my collection from this Man-Eater line. And frankly, I was really surprised to find out I didn't already own it, but I didn't, so I picked up, I'm going with Wyvern. I think that's how you'd say this. Such a weird title. But yeah, so like I said, I have a bunch of movies from the Man-Eater series. And so I'm trying to collect as many of them as I can, especially when I can find them cheap. I'm definitely jumping on it. I would love to do something here on the channel with the Man-Eater series, so maybe that'll be something I try to do down the road. But yeah, they're just like, you know, really bad looking B horror sci-fi movies. So this one is about an Alaskan town that is about to celebrate its like first night into pure darkness rather, where it doesn't turn like daylight for 30 days or whatever it is, like 30 Days of Night, an amazing vampire movie. But with this one, there is the Wyvern, a prehistoric winged reptile that is going to wreak havoc on the city. So, I mean, it looks stupid, it looks fun. I like things like this, so I'm hoping I will enjoy this when I get around to it. So, another one for my Man-Eater series. This is Wyvern. At least I'm going with Wyvern. If it's wrong, let me know down below. Next up just looks really strange. I don't know, but it's Viggo Mortensen. So this is called Captain Fantastic. I've never even heard of this movie before, but it's about this father, played by Viggo Mortensen, who raises his 6 kids basically in like seclusion in the wilderness, but then he decides to take them into the city where he has a confrontation with his, I think it's his father-in-law, it said on the back. Yeah, father-in-law, who wants the kids to have a normal life. And so it's going to be a like, what's the best for the kids situation. Sounds super strange and weird, but like for $1.25, why not give it a shot? It looks interesting enough. So let me know if you've seen this one. I'd be very curious because, like I said, I hadn't even heard of it before. But New York Post called it one of the year's best movies. And this one, when was this? This is 2016. So, yeah, hopefully this one will be interesting. We'll see. This is Captain Fantastic. Here's one from 1995, and it is one of those MGM releases, but it's one I hadn't seen before. This is Richard III. And this has a remarkable cast on here. We got Robert Downey Jr. in this. Ian McKellen is in this. Like a really strong cast. Annette Bening as well. So just a really great cast on a Shakespeare adaptation that looks really interesting. So though it is one of those like bare bones MGM releases, I figured, yeah, this one looks interesting enough that I'd like to pick it up. Richard III, of course, I read like in undergrad and everything because I was a theater major, and I'm not a big Shakespeare guy, but this one I remember being really enjoyable. So I'm intrigued to see what this one is. Enjoyable for one of his histories, at least I'll say. But yeah, so this one should be pretty good. This is Richard III. I didn't even notice it till just now, but this totally has like a slice in it, so that's disappointing. That'll be swapped out with one of my trade-in ones. And then even this one has a gash out of it, so whatever, not a big deal. I'll just switch them out, but it's still annoying. Anyway, this is The D Train, and I grabbed this one simply because of the cast. James Marsden and Jack Black. I love both of them. Jack Black, I think, is hilarious, and so looking forward to checking this one out. Basically, it's about these two guys that knew each other in high school. Jack Black then decides to bring his like hero to the high school reunion, but things don't quite go as planned. He kind of takes over his entire life. And so it looks like a really fun comedy that honestly, another one that I just had not heard of before. And with that cast, I'm really surprised about that. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see if this one is fun. It looks like a lot of fun, so hopefully it will be. This is The D Train. So here is one of those French releases. So I can't read any of the box except for the title, but this is Foxcatcher. Another one with an awesome cast. Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo. This is a story about an Olympic wrestling team. And that's pretty much what I know about it. I know there's some like crazy controversy that goes on. And that's enough. Like, I love the cast, and it's a sports movie, so that's interesting to me. So yeah, I've heard really great things about Foxcatcher. So I figured, yeah, even though it wasn't the Blu-ray, which is how I really would have liked to grab this, for the $1.25, I'll grab this now, and if I love it, I can upgrade down the line. This is Foxcatcher. This next one is a movie that I remember from my family video days. I never ended up watching it, but it was always interesting to me because of the cast. Jason Segel, Ed Helms, Susan Sarandon, a Duplass brothers film. This is Jeff Who Lives at Home. So this one feels like more of an indie comedy that has a lot of meaning behind it. At least that's kind of what I'm getting here. So our main character, Jason Segel, is basically just a slacker that's trying to find the meaning of life. And so he's going to go through some trials and tribulations in order to figure out what life is all about. Sounds pretty simple, very indie film style premise, but I'm about that. Like, that sounds good. So I'm very intrigued, especially with that cast. It's excellent. So another one, just a really strong cast. Let me spend my $1.25, or made me spend my $1.25. So this looks like a lot of fun. This is Jeff Who Lives at Home. Two more DVDs, and I'm really excited about both of them. The first one here, yes, I would have loved to grab on Blu-ray, but they didn't have the Blu-ray, only the DVD of Samuel L. Jackson's Shaft. Now, I just bought the 4K release of Shaft from Criterion. I guess it was last July during the sale. And so I would love to do like a double feature of the remake and the original and see how they compare. Like, this just looks like a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. Samuel L. Jackson is about as good as they get. So I'm sure this will be a lot of fun. This is Shaft. The final DVD is without a doubt the one I was happiest to find. This is from the Asylum. We have Road Wars. So this is the mockbuster of Mad Max Fury Road, and I am so excited to see this one. So you can see it has the fake poll quote on the back there that's blocked, but I can read it. It says, an action-packed apocalyptic classic in the vein of Mad Max and Death Race. So it is exactly what you expect it to be, and I am totally here for it. Here is the Asylum warning, and then on the side there is the Asylum logo. So my Asylum collection grows, and I just could not be more happy about that. I love the Asylum. So really happy that I was able to find another one from the Dollar Tree that I didn't have from Asylum. This one is Road Wars. All right, moving over to Blu-rays. The first one here I grabbed because I know my daughter will love this. This is Arctic Tale. So this is from the same people that did March of the Penguins, and I believe what this is, because I've not seen this before, but I'm thinking what this is they have like a narrator over like real life filming of these animals, and maybe they weave a story out of it. That's my assumption anyway. So I'm sure my daughter's just gonna love this one, so I had to grab it. Looks really cute, and I like movies like this in general, so I'm sure this will be fun. This one is Arctic Tale. This next one is actually an upgrade for me. Here's the DVD, which I will now be replacing with the Blu-ray. This is Assassination Nation. And I love the poll quote on here. It's Mean Girls meets The Purge. I love both of those things for very different reasons, but like combine them and I'm all in. So yeah, this one just looks like a ton of fun. I did buy the DVD, honestly, not even that long ago. So I have not gotten around to it yet, but when I had the opportunity to pick up the Blu-ray, obviously, I'm going to do that because why wouldn't I? So yeah, this is really cool. I'm very happy that I was able to upgrade this one. And now this has to move up toward the top of the list now because it just, every time I'm reminded about it, it sounds amazing. So very happy to have the Blu-ray of this one now. This is Assassination Nation. The last one for today was one that I really thought I already owned, and for some reason I have it in my head that I owned it on Criterion Collection. Is there a Criterion release for this? I think there is, but this is Boyhood, directed by Richard Linklater. And this is a fascinating movie to me because it follows the same actors for a period of 12 real years. So they start filming when the boy is young, and then they finish the film 12 years later. And so like, that's just fascinating to me, like the commitment that was required by not only Linklater, but all of the actors that went in this as well. Just fascinating. And so very intrigued to check this one out. And like I said, I really thought I owned this, so much so that I passed this one by like 3 or 4 times and then finally decided, you know what? Let me check my app just to make sure. and it turns out I didn't own it. So I'm very happy to. Now, if this does have a Criterion Collection release and I end up loving this, I'm sure I'll upgrade. $1.25 is not a big price commitment that would prevent me from upgrading down the line. And so, yeah, very happy to have Boyhood, whether I already have it or not. Maybe I just forgot to add it. I don't know. But yeah, this one should be a really good one. And Boyhood is going to be the last of the DVDs and Blu-rays that I found at Dollar Tree this past weekend.
But wait! There's more!
Hi. I don't know why I did that, but that's okay. So checking in here a couple days later, in my original outro, I made note that I was going to have to return to Dollar Tree because there were a couple other things that we needed that the first one I went to didn't have. Well, I did that and I happened to find some more movies. So I wanted to stick them into the end of this here rather than making another haul. There's only 3 of them, so not a whole lot more, but I wanted to add them in here. So apologies for the awkward transition. But anyway, the first one I found, these are all DVDs I'll mention, is Don't Let Him In. So this does look like a low budget kind of Z-grade movie, like especially look at those screenshots. Definitely looks low budget and kind of cringe, but it's a home invasion film. And so like I love the home invasion genre. Because of that, I had to check this one out and see what it's all about. It looked interesting enough, so I grabbed it. This is Don't Let Him In, and I'll just keep going here. This one is actually from Shout Factory, and it's one I've seen before at like Big Lots, but I never picked it up. This is called Wookie? I don't think it's right. Wookie, the Demon Slayer? I'm not sure how to say it, but this is a Korean film, and it's actually based on a Korean folktale, and apparently it did really well in Korea. It shattered box office records in 2009, so it should be interesting. It is a fantasy action blockbuster. So, I don't know. This one looks pretty cool, and like I said, does have the Shout Factory logo on the side there. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out and seeing what it's all about. You can actually see it has the old Walmart promo sticker on it. So now it is at the Dollar Tree. So that was pretty cool. Wookie, I don't know, the Demon Slayer. And then last but not least, probably the coolest find because it's a Shudder original. This one is The Marshes. So this was one that I was looking for in previous ways because I believe my buddy found this and some other people as well. But it was just never at my local Dollar Trees. So I was very happy to come across this one. This one it takes place in the Australian wilderness, so it is very reminiscent of the movie whose name is just completely escaping me right now. Wolf Creek. My goodness, that was killing me. If I was doing literally anything other than filming, I would have remembered what that title was without even thinking about it. But here we are. I'm on the spot and I couldn't come up with it. But anyway, The Marshes reminds me of Wolf Creek because they're just both Australian horror films. And frankly, they might be based off of the same Australian serial killer. I don't know, but very well could be. So yeah, this one looks really cool. And another one for my Shudder collection, which is always growing thanks to the Dollar Tree. So that's awesome. So these 3 are going to really, truly wrap up my most recent Dollar Tree haul. Alright, so that was everything that I found at the Dollar Tree lately. I decided I'd film a new outro because my previous one doesn't really make sense anymore given that I've just added some new titles on here. But anyway, I would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What have you found at your local Dollar Tree lately? Anything new? Anything cool? What of the ones I just showed, like what's actually part of a new wave? And what were ones that you've seen in the past? Because I know some people get waves kind of sporadically. Different things land at different times. So let me know what you've been finding down in the comments below. I always appreciate any and all comments down there. So thanks so much for that. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed this one, please hit that like button down below. That engagement really does help me out. And if you didn't like it, thumbs down, whatever. Just give me some feedback. I always appreciate it. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies. I talk all things media. Books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga, records. If it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.